Hi everyone. So let's do an all signs speed reading today for our love lives, just to see if we can get a little more information about what's happening with us in each of our individual signs having to do with our love life. So I have 3 tarot decks here and 1 oracle deck, and hopefully we can get as much information as we can and maybe get you some guidance or some advice too while we are at it. So I'll just give this one a shuffle, and we will start with Aries, and we'll move all the way down through to Pisces. So let's see. So for Aries, we have the butterfly, which says evolving and growth, next phase, healing inner child, and releasing the past. So for my Aries, your relationship that you're in now might be going through a major transformation, or this could mean that you are going through a major transformation. But certainly you're learning how to release perhaps past relationships, healing past wounds from relationships, maybe even past inner child wounds. But you definitely, with this strength card, I can see that you are overcoming a lot of your fears and you're feeling very courageous at this time, which is a pretty common trait for Aries, but I'm glad to see that you are using that. So let's look. On your side, you have the Star, the King of Cups, and the King of Wands. So this is more energy with the Star that you're definitely going through a major transformation and some kind of healing when it comes to your love life. I'll see what comes out on your person's side, but it feels like you have a strong amount of love towards this person, whoever that you're dealing with. But I do see that you are very much in your power. You have strength and you have the King of Wands. And these are both very fiery types of energies, which is encouraging to me that you're making a lot of strong choices right now and you're very much healing. On your person's side, there's the 8 of Cups, the Chariot, and the King of Swords. I think that you were probably dealing with someone who, maybe to overgeneralize it, you may have been dealing with a runner, someone who really didn't like to look at their feelings, because they're showing up as the King of Swords. And with the 8 of Cups and the Chariot, it makes me feel like they just didn't want to really have to deal with the amount of feelings that they were having for you. So they took the easy way out, which was out. And I think that alone, that act alone of this person abandoning you or whatever they did, really being cold to you, maybe putting a wall up between you or giving you the cold shoulder, that type of energy, I think that that's what gave you this strength to do the healing. And I feel like you are going through a really beautiful transformation right now. And with all of these kings and the Star on your side, you look like you're in really good shape. And I would be inclined to say that you're better off without this person. This person was brought into your life to bring you to your next phase and to have you evolve. And their work now is done and you're free to move on. And I just saw 333. So if 333 is important to you, make that make sense for you. So that is what I have for you, Aries. So moving on to Taurus, you have Heartbroken and the Ace of Pentacles. So Taurus, it looks like someone really hurt you and that you're probably grieving a bit right now, or maybe grieving a lot. If you're heartbroken, it feels like there may have been a recent breakup. With this Ace of Pentacles coming in here, though, it gives me the impression, Taurus, that you are still feeling optimistic. You're feeling gratitude for having had that person in your life in the first place. I like seeing Pentacles show up in your reading, Taurus, because you are an earth sign, and seeing this opportunity when it comes to these earth resources, I like seeing that for you. So you have the 7 of Swords, the 7 of Cups, and the 6 of Pentacles. It feels like you understand that you have choices, that you understand that this person was not your end-all be-all. You may already be aware of that. I think you know that you did everything you could with this situation and with this person, and you're now realizing that it's just time to go, that you don't want to get hurt anymore, that you're going to avoid getting back into a situation like this because you know how deeply hurt you were. But I like seeing this Ace of Pentacles and the Seven of Cups in the sense that what you didn't see clearly in relationships before, you're definitely seeing it more clearly now. And that moving forward, you'll know what to look for. You'll know the red flags. You'll know if someone's being deceitful in some ways. And that you're now armed and you have this, you're more equipped. You have the tools now to understand when someone is not above board or there is more of a risk of having your heart broken. On your person's side, we have Temperance, the Nine of Swords, and the Five of Pentacles. I don't think your person really thought that you would be okay without them. I think your person is the one who's really suffering right now, that you're not with them anymore. So whatever it is they did to you, it's definitely got them stressed out. I feel like their spirit guides, their angels, perhaps your spirit guides, your angels, are really not giving them access to you anymore. And I think it's really stressing them out. This Nine of Wands, they're now realizing what they had with you, but they can't have you. And you know that this is not what you want, that this pain was not what you signed up for. And now you know better what to look for. So I love that for you, Taurus. This is you really knowing your self-value with this Ace of Pentacles. The Ace of Pentacles is the biggest pentacle in the deck. And you are seeing your self-value. I love seeing that for you. So that's what I have for you, Taurus. So let's move on to Gemini. So for Gemini, we have Healthy Choices and the Four of Swords. Well, both of these cards are really cards of self-care and self-love. The Four of Swords can be a card of just resting and healing. It can also be just a card of taking a nap or going to the spa, or all of these ways that you can bring self-love to make your life better, to be happier, these types of energies. So I love this for you so far, Gemini. And I like that these Four of Swords are here for you because you are an air sign and these swords are very airy. So when you have four of them, it's a very stable type of mental energy. So I love that for you. So this is giving me the impression that you might not, your love life might not be your priority right now. You being by yourself and alone could be your priority. But let's see what comes out in the cards. So you have the Queen of Cups, the World, and the Queen of Wands. Yes, this is backing this up. This World card is saying that you've just completely put an end to something. If you were recently in a relationship, you've decided that's not for you. You closed out a cycle. And with you being in your Queen of Wands and your Queen of Cups energy, Gemini, this is really saying that you are feeling very empowered right now. You understand just what a badass you are, and the amount of love that you give to yourself is incredible. And that's what we're seeing with this Healthy Choices in the Four of Swords, is that your priority is you, and that you've wrapped something up recently as far as your love life. So your person's side, we're seeing Strength, the Empath, and the Three of Pentacles. So I think it's really requiring a lot of strength and courage on whoever this was that you just wrapped up a cycle with. I think they're really having to go through it right now. They're really having to dig deep and find their courage to let you go, because they really wanted to make this work with you. But for whatever reason, you and the universe decided this was not for you. And the universe is leveling you up to something else, that you're done with this cycle. And perhaps this person was meant to teach you to really love yourself. But your person looks like they're kind of going through it right now. But I also think that they're going through their own type of spiritual awakening with the Empath card here. So I do think that the two of you were brought together to learn something, Gemini. And I have a feeling that you both have. You've already learned it. You've wrapped up the cycle. You're taking good care of yourself. Your person is a little bit behind you, but they'll get there, knowing that you were meant to be in their life for a moment, but not forever. And they are awakening. And I believe you awakened too. You are leveling up now. So I love that for you, Gemini. So that is what I have for you. And now we will move to Cancer. So for you, Cancer, we have Mask and the Nine of Swords. So one or both of you in this relationship is not showing your true feelings. It feels like you've detached from your feelings, one or both of you, and that you're not really being clear with each other about what your intentions are. So I don't know if there's history here. We'll get a few more cards to see, but it does feel like for one reason or another, you two have kind of detached from each other and you're both pretending not to care. So on your side, you have Temperance, the Five of Swords, and the Two of Swords. So it does look to me like this person created a lot of chaos, maybe a lot of conflict in your life. They might not have been totally above board about not just their feelings, but perhaps some of the actions they took. This Five of Swords is very much a card of conflict, but you're doing it on purpose. It's like this idea that they need to win or have control in a situation. And I think that that was a turn off for you. And so now you're in this energy of, well, I still need to decide what I want to do. Am I going to stay with this person who feels super detached, or am I going to move on? It feels like you're leaning towards moving on, because we see the Temperance card over here, which means your angels are really beckoning you to leave this situation. So if you're not trusting this person, the answer is not to go in and be and hide your own feelings because you don't want them to see what you have to offer. That's not really the answer. The answer is this doesn't feel like it's really your person. But on your person's side, there's the Seven of Cups, the Page of Cups, and the Page of Wands. It feels to me like you're dealing with somebody who really has a strange way of looking at love. It's almost an immature type of a take on love. It feels like they want to have, if they don't have control in the situation, then they're going to do whatever they can to get control in the situation, even if it means deliberately confusing you. We do have the word gaslight here. So it may be that this person was really deliberately confusing you so that they could gain control over the situation. And people have all different kinds of intentions when it comes to their love life and their relationships. And sometimes people don't mean to do it in a sense that they're not trying to control you to just be an evil person. They're trying to control you because of their own insecurities, their own wounds. But regardless, this is very much giving a feeling that this is really not your person, Cancer, that this is someone who's detached, someone who wants to have control of a situation, has kind of a really bizarre way of looking at love where they, instead of an equal partnership, they want to have control. And I think that you are leaning towards going your own way. Your angels are really beckoning you out of this situation. So that is what I have for you, Cancer. And so next we will move on to Leo. So for Leo, we have Teddy Bear and Knight of Pentacles. So with the teddy bear coming in, it feels like there's a new love coming in for you, and it feels like it could be something very solid for you, Leo, because you're getting the Knight of Pentacles, and that's a card, a court card of commitment. So it feels like it's new, but also serious. There's someone who's very interested in you, someone who wants to be around you, and they are ready for some kind of a commitment. They're at a point in their life where they're ready to settle down, and they're looking at you like you could be the one, Leo. So you have the King of Pentacles, the King of Swords, and the Chariot. Well, it feels to me that you're giving each other similar vibes so far, is what I'm getting, is that you would like to pursue this person too. You're showing up as both the King of Pentacles and the King of Swords, which is really telling me that you are approaching this relationship in a very mature and stable way, that you are also ready for commitment, but you're looking at this from a very logical standpoint, almost an analytical standpoint, a very intelligent standpoint. And that maybe in past relationships, you have learned a lot about what you do not want. And so therefore, this is what's fueling you to move forward, because this person appears to be something that you do want. It does look like you still need more information, because you're pointing your sword. The King of Swords is pointing towards this relationship. So you need more information when it comes to this person, which makes sense because it does look like it's a relatively new development for you. But I am getting that you are willing to hear them out. You want to communicate. You want to get to know them better, and that you know you're going to protect yourself no matter what. But this looks like it's going to be something good. But let's see your person's side. There's the 10 of Pentacles. Wow. The Tower and the 7 of Swords. I think your person here learned the hard way as well. I'm getting that from you too, that you know what not to look for. And I think your person's world was rocked with this Tower being on the external energy. I think someone rocked their world when it came to deceit, maybe cheating in a past relationship. And I think that's why they're coming towards you with a 10 of Pentacles and a Knight of Pentacles. They're saying, yeah, we don't know each other all that well, but when I do get to know someone and I want to commit to someone, I'm giving them all 10 pentacles because that's how much they're worth. And so I do feel that there is a lot of potential here. You're both coming towards this, Leo, in a very healthy way. And I would say to continue to get to know this person, because it does feel like you both know what you don't want, you both know what you do want, and you're both ready to make a solid commitment with all these pentacles. So Leo, that looks like it's great. It looks like it's something great that's about to bloom for you here. So next we will move on to Virgo. So for you, Virgo, we have Girl with a Snake and the 10 of Cups. So what this is really giving me, Virgo, is there's a person in your energy who may be blocking your 10 of Cups. So in other words, there's someone around you that you might not be able to trust. Someone who, the girl with the snake tends to be very charming, tends to be very tempting. So if there's someone you're really drawn to, but you also feel like they drive you crazy, then this is probably who we're talking about. And there's the cards are saying that for you to really enable some boundaries with this person, because it's really, they're keeping you from being calm and joyful and getting all the things that you want in life. It's like they're preventing you from having that. So let's see, on your side, there's your 10 of Cups again. There's Justice and there's the High Priestess. So with Justice pointing towards this relationship, it's telling me there is something here, Virgo, in this relationship that is not fair. And the universe is coming in to correct it. So if you're feeling like you want to trust your instincts with this High Priestess, if you're feeling like you're getting these little pings from your intuition that something's wrong here, that someone's maybe deliberately confusing you or keeping you from being happy or tempting you into doing things you don't want to do, these types of energies, to really listen to your intuition. Because there's certainly something that's going wrong here that the universe has to step in with justice to balance the scales back out. You don't see justice in a reading unless something is wrong and imbalanced. And your 10 of Cups is laying here in the external energy, which is the same as what I saw here, that it feels like this person is standing in the way of you getting your 10 Cups. And as soon as you set limits with this person, as soon as you set a boundary with this person or even break up with this person, make it make sense for you, Virgo. But that's what I have there, that your true happiness is going to come in once you set a boundary. So, but let's look at your person's side. So they have the 2 of Swords, the Hierophant, and the Star. What this is really telling me is that their values don't match yours, that if whatever ways they approach this relationship, it's not ever going to be the same as yours. It's like this 2 of Swords is showing this divergent path. And with the Hierophant, it's telling me that your values just aren't the same. So if this is a person who, for example, and this is just a random example, if this is a person who wants to have an open relationship, but also be with you, but you're saying, no, I want monogamy, I want a solid committed relationship, for example, this is what I'm saying. It's like your values don't match, that maybe your person wants to go and do things and not tell you that they went and did things, even if it's something simple. They want to be able to have their own life separate from you, but that doesn't match what you want. That's what I'm getting here. But they keep tempting you back in because you're attracted to them or because they're particularly charming or things of that nature. But it's preventing you from really being happy because they're doing things that you don't agree with, and it's driving you crazy. And so I think that there is some amount of healing that has to happen. This person appears to be very wounded on their side, which is probably why they're trying to draw you in, even when they know it's not good for you. And so I do feel that for you, Virgo, to really trust your intuition here and follow your 10 cups, which is outside of this situation. So that is what I have for you, Virgo. And so now we will move on to Libra. So for you, Libra, we have Poker Face and the Two of Swords. So very clearly here, Libra, this is already telling me that you have options, that you are making some kind of a choice. You are using your inner vision here. You're using your balanced swordsy energy. I mean, you are Libra. You are an air sign. You are fair. You balance things. So it feels like that's what you're trying to do right now. You're trying to weigh your options. You're trying to decide if one way is too risky or if there's one way that's too much of a gamble with this poker face, but you're definitely making some kind of a decision. You've got some options here when it comes to your love life, Libra, which I love for you because that's you. That's your comfort zone, is making these types of decisions when it comes to relationships. So on your side, you have the 7 of Wands, the 5 of Cups, and the 9 of Wands. So someone has very deeply disappointed you at a minimum. Someone has completely let you down and is now, you're feeling pretty beat up and battered in this relationship. Your guard is up. You are extremely disappointed. So very much it looks like your heart was in something here, Libra, and that person just kicked your heart around is what this is giving me. And I think that's what you're trying to decide now. I have a feeling your person's trying to get back in your energy, but we'll see when we read their cards. But I do get the impression that this person is trying to get back in your life, and that's what you're trying to make a decision on, if you want to let your heart get kicked around again or not. But let's look at your person. So we've got the 3 of Swords, the 4 of Pentacles, and the Page of Swords. So it looks to me like your person kind of broke their own heart, and whatever they did to you here, they're deeply regretting it now. And they really want to talk to you. And that's what I was getting, that it feels like this person's trying to get back in your energy, Libra. So it looks like they don't want to do anything without you. It's this feeling with the 4 of Pentacles that if they can't have you, it's like they're never going to love again. They feel a bit dramatic, I do have to say. But I would say that because they're not really showing up, they're showing up as swords, which is giving me the impression that it's not going to change. They want to talk to you. They want to go back into your energy. But given all of this that you're going through because of this person, I would say that the way these cards look now and what my cards are telling me, that they are not worth taking a risk on again, that there's not enough here to show that they've done enough work on themselves or healing of their own wounds. In fact, they're coming towards you with wounds, with a 3 of Swords. So I would say that's a red flag, and that this person wants you back because it's what they want. It's not because what you want or what's best for you. They're not really worried about what's best for you in this situation. So I would say, Libra, of course, make up your own mind, but it does look like this person still very much has wounds and that this situation is probably not going to change. So that is what I have for you, Libra. So next we'll move on to Scorpio. So for Scorpio, we have Cupid's arrow and the sun. Scorpio, love is here. Love is on the way. Cupid's arrow generally means new love. You're getting struck by Cupid's arrow. So something really joyful is about to come in here for you. And it's probably going to be pretty clear to you when they do walk into your life. But let's see, what do you have on your side? You have the 2 of Wands, the Hanged Man, and the Fool. So it feels to me like you've been single for a while with this Hanged Man and the 2 of Wands energy. There is this feeling that you've been, kind of biding your time and doing your spiritual work and getting enlightened about things and trying to look at your future, and you're going through all the things. You're probably answering all the calls that the universe is asking of you. And so it feels like you were just kind of skipping through life, just you doing you with this Fool energy. and you're not paying any attention. It's like your back is even turned towards this relationship, and you're about to get struck in the back with Cupid's arrow, is what this is telling me. That the universe feels like you've done enough of your own inner work and your own inner healing and enlightenment on your own, that it's time for you to meet someone new, and probably what very much looks like the right person with the sun. So, but let's see about this person. So there's the 5 of Cups, the 9 of Cups, and the Knight of Pentacles. So the message I'm getting from this is someone you may have already had a past relationship with, but the universe is purposefully rekindling this, is what I'm getting. This is probably someone who disappointed you in the past, but this is someone who now understands that you are their person, and they are ready to come towards you in the most reliable and loyal way. The Knight of Pentacles is the most loyal card in the deck. It's the person who will never let you down. And so this is really saying that even though they once did let you down, is what I'm getting with this 5 of Cups, that you are both very clear now on each other. And the universe is really pushing this and asking you to have faith, because I could feel a lot of you, Scorpio, rolling your eyes at me when I said, oh, you're about to have new love come in, you're about to get struck by Cupid's arrow, and then it's someone from your past. I get it. We don't always want to hear that. It's an eye roll, right? But this does look to me like this person is coming at you correct. So regardless, I don't know, make it make sense for you and your situation, whatever happened in the past. If it's something that you just can't get over, if it's something you can't forgive, then obviously keep going about your way and keep your back turned to this situation. But my cards are saying for you to have faith in this situation. If it is something you can forgive them for, if it is something that is, you know, a minor enough offense that you can let them back in, that this person is really going to surprise you this time. And this person is going to be completely different, from the 5 of Cups to a 9 of Cups, and the Knight of Pentacles and the Sun. Those are some of the greatest cards you can have when it comes to a love reading, especially with Cupid's arrow. So I would say maybe perhaps Scorpio, give this person the benefit of the doubt if you want to, but that is what my cards are saying. So that is what I have for you, Scorpio. So next we'll move on to Sagittarius. So for Sagittarius, you have Key on a ring and the Ace of Wands. Okay, so Sagittarius, this is a very one night stand kind of energy. This is someone who you may be attracted to immediately and have a quick fling with, is what I'm getting here. I also get the feeling with this Ace of Wands, Sagittarius, because you're one of the hottest signs, and you know this, you're Sagittarius, that you have a lot of options. And so this may be just one of your options, but this is certainly someone that you are going to be extremely physically attracted to, is what I'm getting here, Sagittarius. So on your side, we have the Queen of Pentacles, the Knight of Swords, and the 8 of Swords. So again, this is giving this feeling that you are rushing in towards this person, that this is, you're like, this person's hot, I want this person. But then there is also a feeling somewhat of you feeling stuck a bit, Sagittarius, because it feels like you rush into perhaps these relationships or these physical contacts with people, but then you don't allow yourself to go any further than that. The 8 of Swords can be a card of inner wounding. So there may be a situation here where there are wounds for you to address, because you're showing up as the Queen of Pentacles on the external energy, which is telling me that you really want to be nurtured. You want to have a commitment. You want to be loved, but you don't really allow yourself to have much more than just these flings, these initial fun contacts, but then you kind of don't take any real decisive action towards it, and you just go a separate way. And it feels like fear might be holding you back from taking these things to the next level. So just make that make sense for you, but it does feel like you have a bit of a runner type of energy, especially if you feel like you haven't been in a long-term relationship in a while, then that message could be for you. On your person's side, we have the Knight of Wands, the 4 of Cups, and the Knight of Swords. Yeah, you both have the Knight of Swords. So whoever this person is that you're connecting with currently or about to connect with, you have the same energy of just this Knight of Wands where you just come in and you have this great physical attraction. You're magnetically attracted to each other. You're probably making each other laugh. You're both very charismatic. But with these Knight of Swords, it's like you're rushing in and you're rushing out. And this person feels very detached emotionally. So it may be that you are connecting to emotionally detached people because you don't want them to attach to you, because you want to be able to also move on. So make this make sense for you, Sagittarius. But if you really are looking for a long-term commitment, which is what this Queen of Pentacles is telling me, then it may be time to sort of address some of these fears that you have and maybe try to connect with someone who is more emotionally available and wants to care for you on an emotional level. So that is what I have for you, Sagittarius. So let's move on to Capricorn. So for Capricorn, we have twin flames and the 8 of Swords. Okay, so Capricorn, this is really telling me that you're going through it right now, because twin flame connections, or these yin and yang unions in the quantum field that we like to call twin flames, they're very complicated relationships. They are trying to bring together two opposite ends of magnets is what these types of yin yang quantum relationships feel like. And so certainly with this 8 of Swords, it's bringing on a lot of fear, a lot of anxiety. So yes, Capricorn, I feel for you, because these relationships are never easy. They're always complicated. And it feels like you're in the thick of it right now, Capricorn. So on your side, you have the Ace of Swords, the 4 of Swords, and the Knight of Wands. So the 4 of Swords and the Knight of Wands are very opposite energies. As I just said, it feels like pulling together two opposite sides of a magnet and trying to get them to stick. Well, they're never going to stick, right? So what I do feel like is every time you try to come towards this person, something is said, something is done where you're like, you know what, I gotta go. This is not for me. I have so much that I have to heal from. But what this is telling me is that this relationship is the impetus for your healing. This has been fueling your actual healing journey. And that deep down, you know that that's the truth. You know this person is your truth, but they're driving you crazy. And you feel like it opens up more wounds than it closes. But what's actually happening is your wounds are actually healing in this relationship. But I get it, Capricorn, it's tough. On your person's side, there's the 10 of Wands. Yeah, that makes sense. The Queen of Wands and the 8 of Wands. Yeah, so your person is going through it too, which makes perfect sense. You're mirroring each other. You're showing each other who you each are. And you're going to be at odds. You're going to be butting heads constantly. Your person feels like their back is breaking every time they try to come into this relationship. Part of them wants to hit the road, but the other part of them understands that this is actually empowering them. It's empowering you. And once this relationship figures out a way to come together, it will be a very empowered type of relationship. You will learn to complement each other instead of butting heads. But unfortunately, you have to get there the hard way. And I just saw 3333 as I said that. But with these types of yin and yang quantum relationships, you just have to get there the hard way. So you both might feel like taking off for the hills. But what I can say is that if you stick this out, you're not going to be disappointed, because there is a quantum reason why the two of you are meant to come together and work through all these wounds. You can heal together. And then when you are together as two healed people, it's going to be incredible. So I wish you luck with that, Capricorn. It is never easy, but this is really, you're blessed with having this person in your life and being able to see those wounds so clearly to be able to heal them. So just try to look at it that way. So that is what I have for you, Capricorn. And so now we'll move on to Aquarius. So for Aquarius, you have abundance and the Hanged Man. So what this is telling me, Aquarius, is that perhaps you don't have someone in your life at the moment, but you're really working hard on manifesting someone in. You're doing your meditations. You have a lot of gratitude around your love life, which gives me the feeling with this abundance card that something's about to open up for you because you have been really connecting with yourself. You're enlightening yourself about what you want in a love life, what you don't want in a love life. I have a feeling you've learned a lot in your past, Aquarius, about who is good for you, who is not good for you. So you're really trying to stay very positive about it. And I do get the sense that it's about to change. So on your side, you have the Six of Wands, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Devil, which I'm going to turn over. So yes, this is saying that some of these toxic relationships that you used to be in with the devil, these very ego-based types of relationships, maybe people who tried to control you in the past, or it was more of just like a physical type of relationship you had with people in the past. This wheel is now shifting. The Wheel of Fortune is always here. It only shows up in readings when the energy is starting to shift and your destiny is about to change. And I got that with this abundance card, that it feels like your love life is about to really open up, that you've learned a lot of lessons, you've released a lot of toxicity, you've probably gone through some kind of an ego death recently yourself, especially with this Hanged Man energy, that you're really starting to look at love in a completely different way. But you remained positive, you remained full of gratitude, and you started manifesting something in. So we'll see what comes up on the other side of these cards to see about the energy you're pulling in. But it does look like the universe wants to reward you with something because you've been through so much. So there's the Six of Swords, the Four of Swords, and the World. Wow. So the person who's about to come into your life, which makes a lot of sense because you've gone through so much healing, you've released so much toxicity, that the person who's about to come into your life has done the same thing. They have just closed out a cycle themselves. They are still healing from something. They've done a significant amount of healing, as have you. And they understand this person that's coming towards you. It's like this sailboat, or this canoe is pointing straight towards this relationship. It's like they're sailing in towards you because they know that you are their person. It's like the universe just is bringing you this perfect person who is healed and ready to have an abundant love life with you. So Aquarius, that's amazing. You've done the healing. So has this person, and you're about to manifest them in. So keep your eyes open. So that is what I have for you, Aquarius. And then finally moving on to Pisces. So for Pisces, what I have for you is Hammer and the Magician. So what this feels like to me so far, Pisces, is that you have recently broken up with someone, or something really dramatic just happened in your relationship where you feel like there is a need to work on something, to repair something. But with the Magician here, it feels like you're manifesting this person back in. So I don't know if there was something that you did to damage the relationship, and you're trying to bring that person back into your energy, or perhaps if something happened, if your person did something to damage the relationship, but you're still manifesting them back in. They could be manifesting you back in. We're going to see when we look at both sides. But certainly it looks like there's unfinished business between you and whoever this is, Pisces. So on your side, you have the Sun, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Hierophant. So this really feels to me, again, with this Ace of Pentacles, that this is something that you want to rebuild. You definitely want to rebuild with this person. I think that this relationship has taught you a lot with the Hierophant. It's taught you a lot about what you value in a relationship and long-term types of people you want to be with. So this is perhaps telling me, Pisces, that perhaps you were the one who might have made a mistake when it comes to this person that you are trying to manifest back. It does feel like you want to rebuild. You've got this Ace of Pentacles, which is like planting a new seed, rebuilding from scratch. We've got the Hammer here, which means you want to persistently work on this. And with the Hierophant, it's saying you really learned some kind of deep soul lesson when it comes to this. The Sun here is also saying that you're very enlightened, that there's no one out in the external world that you want as much as this person, but you may be regretting what you did in this situation. And feel free to reverse those roles if it feels like it's your person instead of you. But this is what this side is telling me, that the person who may have done the damage understands now what they value. And they're very enlightened about it. And they're trying to manifest the other person back in. So on this person's side, we have the Fool, the Four of Wands, and the Six of Cups. So on this side, it feels like your person is going to be very open to coming back into this situation with you. There's a lot of love. There's a lot of history between the two of you. And this person feels like you're a good risk. So whatever it is that you think that you did to damage the relationship, or whatever was broken, whatever happened, it doesn't feel like it's a deal breaker to your person. This feels very much like a happy energy that they would be willing to have you back. So it feels like these manifestations are working, but just continue to bring those values that you know you want in this relationship, and continue to show up for this person, Pisces, the way that you want to show up for them, the way you've learned, so that your person understands that they made the right choice in taking this back. So that is what I have for you, Pisces. Again, feel free to switch those roles. But that is your all signs speed reading. So please let me know how this was resonant for you, and we will do this again sometime. Thanks, everybody. Bye.